I've been noticing a ton of wild elderberry. I'm going to show you some sites that I found around my town, around my area in my travels. And while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and read you some facts about elderberry, some of the history and some of the nutrition benefits. And then I'm going to show you how to use the elderberry to keep the vampires away. Keep your family safe. All right, let's go. So here is one of the most accessible spots where I know there's elderberry in my town. I saw this bush last year, and I actually did get some elderberries off of it. But look at this elderberry bush. Something that I really don't recommend that you do to your elderberries would be, I don't recommend that you mulch them with asphalt. Looks like they just threw the ends of their asphalt down over this elderberry bush. It was actually a lot bigger last year. So yeah, that's something that I don't recommend. So anyways, this is a nice stand of elderberry that's really accessible right from this parking lot. Elderberry has been used in herbal medicine since recorded history. This is another plant that the ancient Egyptians used. It has been used to help in weight loss, and it boosts the immune system. It can reduce the appearance of skin wrinkles and age spots. Studies have been done that shown it can reduce the severity and length of colds and even the flu, and it can help with respiratory conditions such as the colds and cough. People have used it to try to prevent the recent COVID virus. The processed products were actually hard to find during the height of the pandemic. While I am not a doctor and can't tell you for certain that elderberry will cure any disease or illness, my feeling is that it certainly can't hurt. But that does bring up another interesting fact. While all the parts of the plant can be used, everything but the berries and flowers contain a poisonous substance. Cooking it releases these poisonous substances though, and makes using the elderberry safe. The berries are the part of the plant that is most commonly used. The flowers in the spring and summer are in a huge cluster, and they produce many small berries. These berries are very tart, so they are usually cooked and have sugar added to make them more pleasant to eat and drink. People in many countries make drinks, jams, and other food products with them. I read that Coca-Cola even has an elderberry flavored recipe, but I haven't seen that one. I don't know if that's in other countries or what. The elderberry that I find locally seems to be found in the transitional spaces that are not maintained between open areas and wooded areas. I see plants along highways and power lines especially. It also loves to grow along creeks. You may have elderberry near you, but maybe you have never noticed it. It has beautiful white blooms that remind me of hydrangea. In the springtime especially, like right now, is the time to go out looking for it, because when you see it, you can make a note or make a mental note of where the elderberry is, and then go back in 2 months to harvest the berries. As the growing process continues, the white flowers turn more yellow and they fall off as the berries mature. Let me know in the comments below if you notice elderberry in your area since you have seen this video, and if you are enjoying this video, give it a like and share it out. I have planted domestic varieties in my garden because these varieties can produce a much larger crop than their wild cousins. While the plant can be self-pollinating, it will produce better if it has another variety to cross-pollinate with it. It prefers a well-draining soil and doesn't really like clay, but since I see it growing so much near me, I know that it can tolerate and thrive in almost any soil. Now I'm going to tell you a story about how you can use elderberry to keep vampires away from your family. In the Middle Ages, I guess it was the Middle Ages, but in Europe, it was a well-known fact that vampires had ADHD and they loved to count. Hence, Count on Sesame Street. That was rooted in history. So, to keep the vampires away from their families, the people would grab an elderberry cluster of fruit, because they're little tiny berries on the end of these clusters. So basically it's impossible to count them. So they would put this cluster of elderberries on their windowsill, and when the vampires came, they would be coming through the window to get to the family, and they wouldn't be able to stop themselves from sitting there and counting the elderberries to see how many there are. 1,000. So by the time they had counted everything, it would be daylight and they would have to disappear, so the family was kept safe. I'm going to leave a link up here that shows a video that Google says you will like. And to your left, I will post a video on how I planted the elderberry into my garden. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you again real soon.